Hello, everybody, and welcome to another game news roundup. We're going crazy this week with lots of gaming news. Who knows? This is stuff that was actually from last week, but I'm covering it now. We got a couple of things to discuss in this video here relating to PlayStation specifically. So yeah. Sony Senior Vice President in a Q&A session with investors stated PlayStation is moving away from being a hardware-centric business to more of a platform that focuses on community and increasing engagement. So, his direct quote, in the gaming business, referring to PlayStation, we are moving away from a hardware-centric business model, PlayStation consoles, more to a platform business that expands the community and increases engagement. Uh-oh. Is PlayStation going to drop making consoles and they're going third party? No, they're not. They're not going third party. PlayStation consoles is not their main focus. Selling as many consoles as possible is not their main focus. Obviously, the main focus is profitability. Making as much profits as possible. PlayStation 5 might be hard to believe, but since the PS5 has launched, PlayStation has never been more profitable since the launch of the PS5, which might be hard to believe, but it is true. Obviously, prices have increased. PS5 is more expensive than the PS4 equivalent. PlayStation Plus is more expensive. They're now releasing games on PC, which expands you say that is a way to expand the community and increases engagement as they're releasing more and more of their games on PC. And obviously, we're only talking games as a service, live service games, releasing games on potentially, for the most part, on the Switch. Not really, we're seeing that yet, but definitely Xbox. We've seen MLB The Show make its way to Xbox, so that was mainly on Major League Baseball, forcing PlayStation to release their games on more platforms. MLB The Show is on Xbox and Switch, I believe, and PC. And Helldivers 2 is making its way to Xbox later this month, and Bungie's Marathon, whenever that does eventually come out, will be PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC on day one. Do I expect God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon, I don't know, Uncharted, Last of Us, etc., other Astrobot? Definitely not. Do I expect any of those games to make their way to Xbox in the future? I don't expect it. Could it happen? Technically, yes, but I only expect live service games where you want as many players as possible making their way to as many platforms as possible to get as many people playing as well possible. So yeah, mind you, in previous video mentioning the PS5 has shipped over 80 million units lifetime, so there is that. But yeah, I don't see PlayStation consoles going away. I expect them to keep doing PlayStation consoles for who knows how long. Obviously, as technology changes, things might change. Gaming might move to, if internet speeds are good enough, maybe the focus will be more on cloud gaming in the future. But obviously, are we there yet? No. We have a bit of a ways to go for cloud gaming to really explode and take off. But also them saying they're moving away does not mean that that's it. It's over. No, not now. They're just expanding to what their focus is. They got other focuses as well on top of their PlayStation hardware. Because you look at sales-wise, even though the PS2 might be the best-selling video game console of all time, that generation, while it was profitable, is nowhere near as profitable as PlayStation is now, even if you adjust for inflation. Another thing I want to discuss real quickly, Sony CFO, in the same Q&A session with investors, did admit PlayStation's live service plans have not gone smoothly, but stated that progress is being made. Mind you, if you have forgotten, Concord, that was a game that was out for, a week, 2 weeks, and then it was just pulled because no one was buying it. And then eventually the game was completely downright, not just shut down, but canceled, and the studio that developing the game was also shut down. And Bungie recently delayed their upcoming live service game Marathon. So yeah, the direct quote, last year Concord shut down, and this year Marathon was postponed, so somewhat negative news has been coming out. But If you look at the past 5 years ago, live service games were almost non-existent for PlayStation Studios. We now have Helldivers 2, which is the biggest staple that you can think of that they have. MLB The Show and Gran Turismo 7. And Bungie's Destiny 2. So we have these 4 live service games contributing to sales and profits in a stable manner. Also stated, here's an interesting thing, around 40% of Sony's first-party software revenue for the quarter ending June 2025 were from live service games. So yeah, all the revenue generated from first-party sales from PlayStation, 40% of that was from live service games. Again, mainly Helldivers 2, MLB The Show, Gran Turismo 7, and Destiny 2. MLB The Show and Destiny 2 are on pretty much every major platform, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Gran Turismo 7, I believe, is PlayStation only. It has not made its way to PC and definitely not made its way to Xbox. Helldivers 2 is on PlayStation and PC and is making its way to Xbox the end of the month, later this month. So yeah, the direct quote, for Q1, the live service ratio was about 40%. For the full year, it's a little less, probably between 20 and 30%. So in terms of the transformation, it's not entirely going smoothly, but from a long-term perspective, if you look at the changes over 5 years, I see that there's definitely been a change. Of course, we recognize that there are still many issues, so we should learn the lessons from mistakes and make sure that we introduce live service content where there's less waste and it's more smooth. So, I mean, that's the big thing is, if you have a live service game that explodes, it's going to be hugely profitable, bring in tons of revenue consistently for months, years. I mean, think about it. You look at the biggest games with the most players, Roblox and Fortnite. And Call of Duty are almost always at the top 5, top 10 games played every single month because of that. Live service games consistently bringing in money, not just when the game comes out and people buy the game, or obviously Fortnite, Roblox, I believe, are free to play, but buying Call of Duty. But people will buy Call of Duty and then they'll buy microtransactions or season passes, as not just buying the game, they spend even more money on top of it right there. So, anyways, that should about cover what I want to discuss in this video right here. Again, Sony senior VP saying they're moving away from being a hardware-centric business in terms of PlayStation. Obviously, PlayStation consoles, they're not going anywhere. It's just they're expanding beyond it, kind of like what Xbox has been doing, releasing all their games day one on PC, more and more coming to PlayStation. Do I think PlayStation will go as far as that? Maybe in 10 years. Who knows? But I don't see it happening anytime soon. Live service games, sure, coming to Xbox and PC day one, most likely. Single-player games, definitely less so. PlayStation at first, PC later, maybe. And we've had no really word of any of them coming to Xbox in the future. I think the only single-player game we've really seen from PlayStation released on a rival platform would be the Lego Horizon game, which came out on the Switch when it came out. Was it last year? I think that came out last year. I'm trying to remember. I'm getting my years mixed up. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this game news roundup. If you enjoyed it, as always, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe if any of you have anything to add. Leave a comment down below. I'm also trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I am very slowly inching my way to 10,000. And I know in the grand scheme of things that is on the small side, but got to get somewhere, right? Get to 10,000, 20,000, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.